Hello, 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 Mickey. We're live. Come on, everybody. It's like that. Welcome. Thank you very much for our post-match reaction. I'm joined by my good mates Mickey and obviously Mike from the United perspective as well. The first thing I said to Mike was, "Are you okay after that game?" But obviously, we'll deep dive into it from a United perspective, from Mike's point of view. Really do appreciate him coming on the show, especially after that result. And obviously, Mickey Fries as well is joining me once again. And obviously, most importantly, everyone, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button and obviously hitting that bell notification on as well. And make sure you follow Mike's channel and Mickey's. The links are in the description anyway. So really do appreciate it. I get the lads to shout out the channels and socials at the back end of the show. But Mickey, thank you very much for joining me tonight, mate. It was first gear for the majority of that game, it felt like. We'll ask Mike in a little second in terms of United's perspective, but it was. I did watch them against Everton against the Ev, and I think they put in a lesser performance. I don't know how that was possible, but it's the biggest. It is the biggest game in English football. United and Liverpool are the two biggest clubs in English football and will be for the next 5 to 10, 20 years. As many league titles as Manchester City do want to win, they'll never be as big as this. But thoughts on the general game, Mickey, and obviously we'll speak about obviously the player performances. But was that a good performance for you?
Yeah, I feel like we hit the blocks running straight off. Once we got a couple of goals up, we went into first gear and stayed into first gear even in the second half. They came back into it, but it's only because we dropped 3 levels below. It was too easy, 9-0 over 2 things. And like you said, it's the biggest game. If they're not careful and they carry on playing like this, the Man City Liverpool game will become the biggest one. It's a worry for them.
Yeah, 100%. And Mike, just from your perspective, and just sense you haven't even spoke yet, but it's frustrating. And what did you gauge from that performance? Is it another performance where yet again the players are not putting in the effort? Which is obviously, we were speaking to Maisie and a couple of United a lot last night as well. It should be the basic football principles of a player playing for your football club that at least puts in bare minimum effort. And we've seen with the young lads, there's a Hannibal that did come on in the second half. That's the most effort I've seen from a United player in a very long time.
Hannibal was man of the match today, and that's scary. Not our man of the match before. People. He was our best player. And what did he come on? To be fair, I don't even know how long he was on the pitch for. To be truthfully honest, because after 2 or 3-0, I was like, right, I'm checked out like the players now. They're checked out. They're on the beach. I thought I may as just sit here and hope that something happens. I guess but what I don't get right is there's lack of effort and there's lack of sort of trying, but it's Liverpool. And look, if this was obviously I wouldn't be on your show if it was, but if it was say West Ham versus Man United and losing 4-0. I'd be angry at the performance and angry at the effort, obviously. But the fact that it is Liverpool and the implications of us, basically rolling over and getting our tummy tickled was, you're on for a quadruple, which will emulate what we done in 99. And I said on my watch line, I said, no one will talk about 99 anymore if you go and win a quadruple, because they'll be like, well, what's the point of winning 3 trophies in one season when Liverpool in 21, 22, got 4. So it still to this moment right now that I don't even think I'll get over this for a few months, even a few years potentially. And if you go on and win the quadruple, I'll never forget this day, because the way in which those players' attitude was for that 90 minutes was awful. And I've seen so much on Twitter that we had a great 10 minutes to the second half. We didn't. It was Liverpool thought, we've got bigger games than this. This is piss poor, easy game. This is.
You've still got quite a lot to fight for, though, mate. You've got to get 4th.
Nah, I don't want 4th to be truthfully honest. I'd rather finish 8th than in any European competition. They don't
completely reset.
They don't deserve. None of these players deserve. The top end of European football. I will say one thing though. As much as I cannot stand Liverpool and absolutely hate them, your fans in that 7th minute, I will give my absolute dues to you. You absolute legends for clapping and applauding Cristiano. Thoughts do go out with him, and halfway through that minute, you were singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," and that was the best rendition of "You'll Never Walk Alone" that I'll ever listen to in my life. And I was actually like, go on, keep the volume a bit higher, because and obviously after that minute you can shut up with that song. But no, that was a great respect, considering how much you hate us, we hate you, to still come together. We've seen other teams not be as respectful with certain things over the past weeks and months and stuff like that. So for you to do that, that's what I'll take out of this. That I think football's moving in the right direction in terms of respect between the two teams. And look, I'm never going to wish you good luck for the rest of the season. It's you, but that today, just with you singing that, it really was quite heartwarming for me to hear that.
Yeah, I'm just spot on, mate. I'd echo, especially what Mike said, and pretty sure Mickey and the Liverpool fan base obviously put rivalry aside. Don't judge fan bases off Twitter, everyone. Even if you do see one tweet, it's not defined. One tweet or one person on Twitter doesn't define a fan base, and that just doesn't go for just Liverpool or United. It goes for every football club within England and all around Europe. You'll get the absolute weapons, and they're not worthy of your time. If you see it, report it and all that, because some of the stuff everyone's seeing on social media is disgusting, really. But 100%, Mike, and quite rightly, obviously supporting Cristiano Ronaldo at this difficult moment, for to go out to his family and everything. But Mickey, we'll speak about obviously the performances, especially from an United point of view as well. Mike, obviously I'll ask you about Harry Maguire, especially for one of the goals as well. But
three of them.
Yeah, I get to a couple of your comments as well, Mickey. But we'll get straight into it in a little second about Thiago. I think he had a phenomenal game yet again. And obviously highlighting and showcasing really his talents to the rest of the world. Just reminding all the fans outside of Liverpool of how good a technical player he is. But Hannah, get in, Doug. Good evening. I'm pretty sure I'm surprised you didn't go good evening, Doug. Sorry, Mike, but United said I didn't even like the tried. Yeah, it was, as Mike already alluded to. It's just the standard. If it's United, you probably see more effort in a Sunday League team, and that's probably given too much.
I was joking. To be fair, Jack, I was joking 2-3 months ago, and I said play the youth. After that, no, it was after the 5-0 to you guys, or the Watford 4-1. We've lost pretty much every game this season. It's hard to remember which one, but I think it was after the 4-1 at Watford. I said play the youth, just play them. What hope have you got playing these parasites? But yeah.
Definitely North as well. Jack, it was a battering. United are rubbish. Liverpool's great, back in the glory. Evening, guys, as well. How you doing, Hannah? Hannibal did come on and his commit fouls, but I think we can all agree in terms of yes, it was fouls, but
it was passion, wasn't it? Yeah, it's getting involved and getting into it. Yeah.
That's what we remember as well, Hannah, especially when we weren't at the level which we were now. Obviously, United were winning a lot of titles. But even Carragher was riling Gerrard. It's what United. None of this. I understand where everyone's coming from. City's Liverpool rivalry. It's not a rivalry. We're just we're too nice. But on a footballing sense, 100%. Diaz was. He wasn't too bad, Gary, was he? How you doing, Maisie? Absolute legends. Speaking to you after the game. Not happy. Pretty sure. I was one goal off. Even in all United, Vivek didn't even get out first gear as well. Enjoyed the preview yesterday. Wasn't too far from my prediction as well. Well done on the win as well.
Congratulate them. Don't congratulate them. They'll think.
That was amazing. But Mickey, we'll get straight into the main man, and obviously I'll ask Mike what his thoughts on obviously this man, this human being, beautiful human being, as Brendan would say. Superb tonight, but I think I've seen a quote from Paul Scholes tonight, Mickey, in terms of United didn't even try. They couldn't even get near this man. The drop of the shoulder, the everything. He makes footballing so simple when it's quite difficult for the normal spectators of the sport. Mickey,
Mate, he's unbelievable, mate. He's I'll give a comparison. He costs £30 million, and Pogba costs £90 million, and they're not even in the same league. So that says it all. Even Bruno Fernandes, another one, costs 70 million, not even in the same league. This guy is a class above every other midfielder in the Premier League at the moment, and it's only bad news for the rest of the Premier League.
Yeah, 100%. Mike, in terms of his performance, we impressed. In terms of just from a neutral point of view, you have to analyse his game. What is it when you watch Thiago, Mike, tonight that impressed you, or just in his general game?
It's so difficult because the thing is, I've rated Thiago since we were linked to him in like 2013, 2014, I think it was, when Van Gaal first came in, and everyone that the people that I've spoken to that don't rate him, I'm like, what? Like, how can't you rate him? So it's difficult for me because I've obviously loved him for a long time. I wanted him at United in 2014. He's a fantastic player. He's so good on the ball that the vision is ridiculous. And well, I can't say him alone because you ripped us apart tonight, but I think he was probably the main advocate of why you won that game so comfortably every time. Because there were some times and some moments that we look, maybe we can get something going. But he was there just stopping everything. I mean, you don't see him as a sort of, I don't know what the type of word, maybe pit bull. You don't see him as that type of pit bull midfielder that's going to run around and chase everything down. He's more of a David Silva type player, isn't he? That he's just going to be technically astute to sort of get that ball and then show something rather than chase that ball, sprint it down, win it, and then release it. But Thiago, like I said, for 8 years has been excellent, and tonight should just proved why people shouldn't doubt him. And it bloody hurts that he's a Liverpool player as well, because we could have had him 8 years ago.
Yeah, that's mad. Spider, get in, la.
Oh yeah, lads.
How you doing?
Look, it's fucking. It's Ten Hag there himself. I was going to make
I told you, Ten Hag has got nothing on my board this bro.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for coming on, mate. It's obviously short notice.
Man, I'm bevied up. I'm enjoying myself. I'm 4-0 against the Mainz, the biggest fucking average in history that we've ever scored. I love it. Sorry about that, Mike. But at the same time, what a result. It's been brilliant. I'm taking everything on the chin as much as I can, roll on the quadruple. I'm getting there. I'm getting
one game at a time, lads.
One game at a time. I know it's doing my head in.
Yeah. 10 wins.
That's it. 10 wins. That's what I'm saying. And 10 wins is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, Spider, we were just speaking. Obviously, Mike was absolutely summed him up perfect in terms of what his attributes. Your thoughts on Thiago's game tonight, mate?
Best game he's had in a Liverpool shirt without even having to try, to be honest with you. We've seen him play brilliantly against teams that have given us difficult times and stuff like that. And United didn't do much of that tonight, except for maybe 5 minutes after the second half till like the 68th minute. For those 15 minutes, they were kind of tempting to do stuff, but it was mainly down to us sitting back. And but it was an absolute, and how to be a midfielder, track back, tackle. He was the stuff that we didn't think he was capable of tonight. He performed. So he was doing last ditch tackles. He was winning the ball back from behind the opponent. He was, oh my God, it was a masterclass in a centre midfield role tonight. He knew it when he walked off that pitch. Like, he was trying to hug Klopp to hide his embarrassment of saying, I did a brilliant game, and they're singing my name 60 times tonight because of how good I was. So, it was phenomenal, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Jack,
get away, spot on there, matey. Get away your comments as well. Everyone, leave your man of the match really as well. Mike, obviously, give his United man of the match to obviously the young Hannibal lads. And Mike, would you see him start the next game? Who's your next fixture? For me,
Arsenal away.
Yeah, you'd throw him in, really, wouldn't you? Over, I think it was Rashford as well. Everyone, let me know, especially United a lot in the chats as well. There was a couple of times United did get through. Obviously, you've only had one shot in target the whole game, but for me, it just summed up Rashford's season. Like he didn't put his foot in where potentially he could have created an opportunity. But would you foresee Hannibal coming in for the next fixture, especially against Arsenal?
It's so difficult, right? Because there's two sides you can go with it, and I don't want to come on here and scream and shout because I think that's pointless. I mean, I've seen a few people on YouTube already, just clips of absolutely screaming, and it's got to the point where it's just pointless doing that because you're never going to express your sort of true feelings and intelligent thoughts when you're just screaming and shouting. And I think you could put Hannibal in, and I think he would give you that sort of passion, and he would give you that desire and fight to play for the club. But no, I think
it's good ban at that, isn't it?
Yeah. It annoyed me actually because I remember when Heath Chong had that trim and then he cut it all off. I was like, oh, you disappointment. But no, back to Hannibal. I can agree and disagree with it if that makes sense. I personally wouldn't. The only reason being is because it's such a massive game, and we saw with the cameo that he had today, he wants to chase everything down. He wants to, put a mark on the game, and I'm just feeling like, if he does that away at the Emirates and gets sent off or something, he's going to get pelted by fans, pelted by media and stuff, saying, he just wants to go flying into everyone. What I would do is bring him on, though. If it looks like what it looked like today, where it just looked like there was no effort, no desire, then I'd bring him on a lot earlier than, because I was on my stream, I was calling for a double change at halftime for Rashford and Bruno to be taken off and Maigbury and Garnacho to come straight on as the 2 for 2. Because like you said, Jack, earlier, and people in the chat, Rashford and Bruno are just taking their paycheck at the moment and just strolling around. Garnacho and Maigbury would actually, give you something, give some passion. I wouldn't start him, but he would definitely be involved at the weekend for sure.
Definitely. Spider, we'll speak about the Egyptian king. His celebration is back out now as well.
Oh, yeah. Namaste, motherfuckers. Namaste.
No, I made up most importantly because I think all of us from a Liverpool point of view, we've seen Mo, not that he's been playing bad, but the modern day FIFA fan on Twitter is like, oh, he's not scoring. But like
he's had a writer's block, hasn't he? It's just a writer's block. That's what we call it.
His thoughts on his game today, mate. Obviously getting 2 goals.
He was fantastic, man. He was running behind non-stop. He was coming back. He was laying the ball off. He's 1-2 touch passing was ridiculous tonight. Like I have to give it to him. Like some of the stuff he was doing was like his vision of where to run into space has never left him. So everybody panicking from left, right, and center has not seen that Mo has been running into space, doing what he's doing. He just hasn't been turning and taking people on because, when he receives the ball, and even though it takes a lot out of you playing like an African Cup of Nations in the middle, especially all the ways up to a final in the middle of a season where your team is one of the best in the world and going for a title. So I'll allow him like 2 or 3 months of just recuperation, but he's been looking on the ball for the last couple of weeks. I knew he was going to get a goal. I was hoping it was going to be against United, and he didn't steer me wrong, to be honest with you. And like a fantastic assist for Diaz, a fantastic assist for Mane, and Mane, like an unbelievable out of this world assist for Salah. That was ridiculous. That was a ridiculous assist over Maguire's head inside the Dalot. Dalot didn't even know it was going to even happen. That was a ridiculous assist.
To get it over Maguire's head, something, bro.
It's the size of that fucking head anyway. Sorry, Mike. I know. He's
Carry on, mate.
I think Mike would agree about that shambles. I grew up
out on him.
Yeah, I grew up watching Rio Ferdinand and Vidic actually decent centre halves for United, and he got this shambles. But
can I add something on Salah as well?
Yeah,
about his form. So what people don't realise is it's also Ramadan. So he's not eating and drinking in the hours of daylight, and he's playing midweek games. I think that's why Klopp wants to move the half-12 game to a later kickoff, because when it's a later kickoff, he can eat and drink before the match. So he can't even have water. So you imagine an elite footballer that's
the same with Benzema as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Benzema, he's been scoring goals and he's doing Ramadan. Which full credit to Salah. I'm not going to be a rather that's like, Salah shit.
So in some games, they are going to be off it because if they've had to work hard, they're going to sweat and they're not allowed to replenish the liquid until a certain time. So and that's going to go on till the end of April. So people need to take that into consideration as well. But I just think in the last 2 or 3 games, he's got a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And now he's scoring. I think the whole... Thank you, Man United, for being so crap, by the way, Mike, to allow Salah to score, to give him the confidence. So I think he'll go on now and score another 10, 15 goals.
Yeah. I think I was looking, chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm right or wrong. Is it in the Premier League? Is it 32, 34 goal contributions? Chat, let us know. You know the stats better than me anyway, which is quite phenomenal.
It's 22 goals in the league, and the rest is
13 assists or something.
It's 35, I think.
Bonkers. Let's get to your comments as well. It was apologies if you haven't missed anything. Thiago is immense, 100% there, Willow. Yes, Jack, we need to manage Thiago for this running. He's worth 2 players on the pitch. 100% agree for there, North. You all right, lads? How are you doing, Alfie? Absolute bloody legend as well. Thiago's too good. All right, Spider. Thiago is a maestro on the ball. Simply different gravy. Rashford has fallen. It just doesn't look arsed. And obviously, as Mike was saying, quite a lot of those players, it's been the same old for the last couple of seasons now.
Can I jump in on Rashford?
Yeah, go on.
You put Rashford under Klopp, with Klopp's coaching, in that Liverpool front 3, and he would be unbelievable, and he'd score 20 goals.
Guaranteed.
It's just that he did not add much.
He's a great player.
I think he's broken. I think he's been broken by United, to be honest with you.
He needs to. I think he's one of the players that needs to get out of United to flourish.
And not just that. I'll go to Rashford because I think it's a delicate point, but an important point. I think he's a Manchester lad. I don't want to pelter him too much, but at the end of the day, he's not a youngster anymore. So it's always difficult territory to pelter a 19, 20-year-old. But he's 24 now. He's a Manchester lad, Manchester Liverpool, and he did not care one bit today. And that's what has annoyed me. All the other players, Bruno was poor. I'm not gonna scapegoat them. Maguire was awful. Rashford and Lingard were the 2 that really hurt. Because they get it. They've come through the ranks. They've, seen the videos of the great Man United Liverpool games of years gone by, and they just couldn't be asked. And that's the 2 ones that really hurt was Marcus Rashford and Jesse Lingard, just because of the history that they've been brought on.
Yeah, 100% there, fellas. Can we get any comments in as well? Got any questions for the panel as well? Most importantly, get them in. Your thoughts on the game as well, everyone. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button down below, and obviously all the lads' channel links are in the description. So head over, please, and subscribe to their channels. Good lads as well. Jack's with he makes football look simple. I love the man. He's been my boy for years, and it's amazing seeing him. For this week in, week out as well. Diaz, man of the match. Oh, yeah, we haven't even spoke about him. Gary, you run out with superlatives, don't you, Spider, to describe him?
Yeah.
It's imagine when he actually understands a bit more English and he understands, obviously, the coaching techniques.
I've always seen him as a player that kind of comes in from the left, steps inside and curls a ball to a top corner. I haven't seen him doing it too much for Liverpool. What I have seen him doing is linking up in 1-2s, triangles, wherever he's needed. And he just shows up, passes the ball, goes looking for the space again. If he doesn't see that space is there, he's back across 50 yards across the pitch where the space is left over there, and he runs back into that position. So, superlatives is not even a word that you would use for the likes of Diaz or Thiago, because no matter how much you try to do something, they do it without even thinking. And that's my 2 cents.
Football intelligence, isn't it? It's football intelligence. You don't need to be coached that.
Massive, exactly. You don't get coached that. It's in your instinct. It's what you do. Thiago's got it in abundance. He's probably got it more so of any other Liverpool player that's in that squad. But he's just, he came in. He was unlucky against Everton when he first came in and got injured, and that hindered him. But I think we're starting to see the real Thiago now, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, 100%.
and for 20 million, for a guy that's probably
Yeah,
worth
man.
6 times that, you can't qualm.
You can
He's been quiet for about 8 months, but he's grand now.
You can understand why Bayern were fuming. Like
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
trying so hard to get hold of him, weren't we? So, but yeah, Gary, man of the match, it's a good shout as well, mate. And I think all the forward three line contributors, and if it's Jota, I don't think you were happy seeing Jota come on the pitch. Really, he's just another one, and not just United fans, but he's just another one to throw in. Like it's like
I think Maguire was your man of the match, wasn't he? Harry Maguire was your man of the match.
I'd say that I thought Maguire intercepted a lot of football tonight, like really well. I just thought he wasn't assisted from the midfield at all. I just thought that midfield is just dire. It's the worst midfield I'd probably seen in United top. And I just thought that Maguire was at one point, he was going to them, what are you doing? I have no protection. I don't know whether I'm running this way or that way. And, I'm not going to give Maguire a stick because I know he's been poor recently or whatever. And he's put his hands up about being poor. But I thought that United midfield didn't cover him at all. I thought they were absolutely dire.
He didn't help himself though. Is it
No.
Mike was it the third or fourth goal where he plays a diagonal ball on like the halfway line?
It was the fifth. It was the third goal. I think he receives the ball in a dangerous situation, gets himself out of trouble. So I'm praising him, and then 2 seconds later he's playing hospital pass to Hannibal, and I'm like, oh god, I'm like, it's basically that our season is
that's the Maguire that I can see that you're talking about.
That is our season summed up in one movement. He wins the ball. You're like, he's under pressure. I'm like, shaking. Gets away with it. Like, oh yes, we've got a positive. And then he tries to play this long ball to Hannibal. I can't remember who was on Hannibal at the time. I think it may have been Jota or Mane, whoever it was. And they just win the ball off him. I'm like, it's just
Robertson,
I think Robertson was it.
It was Robertson that stepped in, but it was
easy.
It's the fact that all our front three that started assisted each other, but it was different assists. And then when Jota came on, he assisted Salah for the last goal. That's a ridiculous stat. And when you got a front line that can do something like that, then no matter what team you are, that is scary as hell.
I thought on a United point of view, though. Go on.
Yeah,
you've got to praise how we choose players. So I'll do a comparison. You brought Sancho, great player, good, but there's more to a player than what he does on the pitch. So Liverpool looking what they're like in the dressing room, what they're like off the pitch.
Agree.
United don't do that. Sancho caused loads of problems in the dressing room at Dortmund. You can read all the stories.
Yes,
he was very unpopular. He doesn't turn up. He turns up late for training at Dortmund. He turns up late for training at Man United. Now, Liverpool wouldn't sign him because they know that. Yeah, they look into that. Where Diaz, they look to Diaz. He's the first in training. He's the last out. He's great in the dressing room. He's a team player. So
I bet
Man United need to change how they look at players.
I said exactly the same thing when I was live streamed. Sorry, Mike. I said the same thing when I was talking tonight. I said it's the difference in how much they spend towards attitude as well. And the attitude, there's a difference in attitude in Liverpool. Like we always say, we all know that Jurgen Klopp creates world-class players out of what we would deem as average boys, right? But at the same time, United buy big and they spend because they think they need to, and they've had that mindset for like ever since they've won and they started losing, they panicked and they went into that genre of 2008 onwards. We need to spend big, we need to spend big, we need to spend big, and they got stuck in that rut, and that was a problem. But the attitude was never there. And I would give it more so from not even to Edwards or anybody else. FSG had that when they came in, they put out an affidavit, right? That they said, we're going to go with the data on player rather than what we see and who we deem is worth this and worth that. And then when they brought in Michael Edwards, he went into that type of structure, followed it, and now we've got the team that we have. So we give Michael Edwards a lot of praise, but it's actually FSG in the first day that came in with the affidavit that said we're going to go with the data of the players like we do in Boston, like we do in everywhere else, and we're going to do what they do on that we deem on the pitch and follow that. So like I would always think I always look I'll have to ignore the Super League stuff and stuff like that. Stupid decisions, up into the tickets, stupid decisions, that kind of stuff. But they've been fantastic for the club as a business. And
them and Jurgen Klopp, we just say is bad. Obviously, Jurgen is that model of like
I
the
think
perfect manager.
I think Jurgen has grounded them. To be honest with you, I
Yeah.
think they were in a business mindset and they were coming in doing that. And if we let them do that without a Jurgen Klopp, I think that we probably would have been in a situation nearly as good as Arsenal, as bad as Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I think because of Jurgen Klopp, he's grounded them. I know we've got a good relationship, and I think that's what
He's schooled them
blended.
on. Yeah.
He's schooled them big time.
Yeah.
You know, he has, and leaving in the legends in there and listen to them saying this is what the club is about. It's about the boot room. And as I said, Jurgen's created a new boot room. What he is, he said we've got our own boot room now. We're going to build from that. Anybody who takes over from me is probably going to come from that boot room, and that's music to my ears, to be honest with you. You know, so
I know that. People keep going on about Gerrard. I think it's going to be Linda's next.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think Gerrard won't ever touch this job.
You think so? Yeah.
When he's about 70, potentially.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think he'll go abroad
70.
eventually.
Yeah,
And let's be honest.
We could be desperate before
He's
he does.
doing a terrible job at Villa, and I'll be honest. I love the guy, but he's took Villa. They're worse now than when he took over.
Yeah, he's brought them down.
It's what happens when you have Tyro Mings, though, innit? I think when you got Tyro Mings entered half.
The last one had Tyro.
Jack doesn't like Mings at all.
I don't like Mings.
He's not good.
I'm scouting on English, so I don't even watch England games. But
yeah,
I'd have Mings over Maguire.
Yeah. I don't know, Michael, especially if you threw him in there.
That's another question. Maguire and Mings will be in the England squad. Yet Trent won't.
It's a good job.
One of the best players in the world. And them two are rubbish.
It's a good job I'm Welsh. I can see England fail, which is a lovely sign.
Yeah, we'll get straight into everyone's comments as well. Keep on getting them coming in as well. Make sure you drop on that like button as well.
I've been reading. Sorry to jump in, Jack, but obviously I've been reading some of the quotes from Rangnick, and one thing I will say is fair bloody play to Ralph Rangnick. He is so honest. He has thrown these Glazers under the bloody bus that they deserve to be thrown
tonight,
under.
Is it? Or
yeah, he's come out with quotes saying the first one is there will be a rebuild at this club for sure. That was obvious for the first 3 or 4 weeks that I walked in. The players don't look like they're interested, and then he's come out and said there could be 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 new players, and that won't just be signing. So obviously referring to potentially some youth academy players brought in. And then he said when Jurgen came to Liverpool, he changed the club and the philosophy and lifted the whole morale of the club and the city. Hopefully Ten Hag will be that for Manchester.
Yeah. Like he's a class character, like, isn't he? To be honest with you, like he knows this game inside and out. And like even Jamie and Gary were saying it tonight, you know, he's got such class that he hasn't stepped up and said, "Oh, these players are shit."
Yes. Thank you, Spider. Yes, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, he's gone on and said that they're not shit.
He will do when he goes though.
They haven't stepped up. But he hasn't done it.
Van Gaal, Mourinho, Van Gaal and Mourinho have both said when that don't go to Man United. It's a Hollywood. It's a Disneyland a place to go. And Rangnick has had some professionalism to as Spider said, prevent himself, because he could easily say Maguire shit, Bruno shit. They don't care. But he said that he's inadvertently said it and indirectly said it. He sort of said that you can see the disjointedness of the team basically linking to certain players, and he's hinted at
similar mindset to Klopp, Mike. He's a very similar mindset to Klopp.
Because he learned Klopp, didn't he? He trained Klopp to what Klopp is.
Yeah. So he's got the same thing saying, don't say too much, just do your job, and that's about it, you know. So yeah. The student beat the master again, 9-0. But we get.
He wasn't in charge the last time.
That was Klopp's first win against him.
The master.
Second.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was a second.
That was Klopp's first win against him.
Oh,
they've had loads of draws.
Yes.
But he's never beat him till today.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We'll get to everyone's comments as well, everyone, and we'll ask the lads as well. Keep on getting your comments in as well, you absolute bloody legends. Make sure you do smashing that like button. It takes 2 seconds, everyone. Really do appreciate it. We're on 17 likes and there's 26 in the chat. Come on, people.
I
Come on,
lads. Even I didn't like that performance, but I've even liked that screen. Come on, man.
Thanks a lot. And hit that subscribe button as well if you are new around here. And obviously, subscribe to all the lad channels. It is in the description as well. But we'll get to everyone's comments as well. Very good performance in the first half, stopping the second half. But we are playing, and the Mickey Mouse side, he had one job. He had the job done. I'm Sunday against the blue and white shirt. I would rotate the team very heavily because it's only blue and white shirts. Shane's been really, really nice there. I think he's obviously.
I said the same thing, Jack. I said that we're going to put a second string squad out against Everton.
Yeah.
That's what Klopp has done for the last 4 seasons, and we won like 3 or 4-0 every time.
King Divock will be getting about 10 goals that game, won't he?
Don't you think it depends on what happens tomorrow?
Yeah, I think
if Brighton get a result, like even a draw, and we're still top,
absolutely,
he may choose a stronger side against Everton, maybe. Just to make sure.
Actually, yeah, you're dead.
What I'm saying is, come on, City.
Oh my God, is it that bad, bro?
Yeah, no one cares if. I think all of us. No one cares. Fans. Yeah, no one cares if City win league titles for the next 5-10 years. They're irrelevant.
Yeah.
And I'm go back to getting beat by slapped up by
Middlesbrough 9-1 on it.
Yeah. So, like Nick says, it'd be humiliating. And LFC are 6 years ahead of Manchester United by Willow. Salah back to his best, getting Gary. Yes, he is. 5 at the back and 5 at the back now. How crap must it be? But
it was 6 at the back, really.
Six.
Dropping in as a
Jack. I said it to mates of mine, right? That are staunch. They go over every second game, right? And I know I'm Irish, but they go over every second game. I went over every third game for Liverpool, right? But these guys were telling me, "Oh no, we'll be back in 2 years," and I said, "You won't be back for 10 years after Ferguson leaving, especially with the debacle that happened with Moyes." I said, "You're going to build, you're going to fire managers," and I said, "I guarantee you by 2022 you go through 5 managers." And I said, and then by the time that happens, you mightn't even get stability by the time it's 2025. And they didn't believe me. No, you're talking shit, because they had the mindset of winning. I know we're in that genre, so we might even be like that in like 7 or 8 years' time. But it's a good mindset to be in,
To be fair, Spider, it's only been the last 18 months to 2 years that I've sort of leaned away from that winning philosophy because of ever since I've been alive, that's been you are successful, you will never not be successful. That's what's just been ingrained into me.
Exactly.
And only 18, I'd say 2 years. Probably since I think the first your light league title. As soon as you won that, I was like, all right, no, there's 2 teams ahead of us because City have been ahead of us for 7-8 years. And when you won that first, I was like, yeah, okay. Now I'm realizing we're just filling in for top 4 because Chelsea are in this weird position that they're just going for 3rd every year because they know then they can't get to Liverpool and City. They're like, well, we'll just get 3rd every year. Don't worry about winning a title.
It's hard to get out of that winning mentality, man, especially when you had like a manager like Alex Ferguson in place for that long.
Yeah,
and I can see Arsenal are still stuck there after Wenger, even though they attacked them like severely for the last like 2 years.
Oh yeah, we're bad. At least we aren't that bad.
No, not that bad.
I guess.
But that's what I'm saying to these guys. These guys, like, they're all in their 50s or their 40s or whatever. They're before, So they're there since like day one.
Give him 10 eggs.
So.
Alfie, you're not getting any chocolate eggs off your dad.
I'm calling it now. Now we said
we're not saying 10 Hag anymore. We're saying Mickey LeBuff.
Mickey LeBuff.
By the way, give him some Hannibals.
By the way, Alfie's my son. He's taking the mick.
Yeah.
You can have some Hannibals, Mick.
Alfie, that's you in 15 years, buddy.
Yeah, well, Mickey just said, Alfie, you're not fine. Alfie, nice one, Mickey. We're doing a match day vlog as well.
I'll sell you a ticket.
Solskjaer broke Rashford.
I think a lot of things broke Rashford personally.
Yeah. He will be smiling. Question on his field link up to the forwards. Mickey, thoughts on obviously what great question by Ravi. And let us know, everyone in the chat as well. It was interesting. Yeah, it was superb. But even without Naby Keita, with the rotation so key. Your thoughts on that, Mickey?
Well, I thought Henderson was just immense today. He
played
ran
very
for
well
every
today.
ball. There was one, wasn't it, where he ran about 30 yards and the Man United player was about 10 yards away and he still got the ball. So, yeah, I think the link-up play is better. I think we're looking into that more because I think we're going to buy a big midfielder in the summer as well. I think that's where we need to strengthen. We've already brought in one, which is, I think he's going to play more as a number 10, Carvalho, who scored tonight again for Fulham. So he looks a player. But I think we're going to go for a Jude Bellingham or someone that can dictate play for the next 10 years. Or even Gavi from Barcelona. That's who we're looking at the moment. So it's obvious that we're looking for the future as well as now. But as currently at the moment, it's just the goalkeeper to defence to midfield to attack. They all know the job and they could all start an attack. Van Dijk can start an attack. Thiago can start attack. Henderson can. Even Alisson tonight twice started an attack.
A couple of Cruyff stains in his own box. We know them.
Yeah, but it's them long throws, them big kicks out, and they always reach the player. And as like Neville said tonight, Alisson had a better touch and pass than he had as a right back.
Yeah. Spot on there. But hopefully that answers that, Ravi. Great question, mate. Thank you for that very much for that fella. Diaz runs about without a care in the world and puts in a 9 out of 10 performance and goes back living his best Colombian life. He's always smiling. Yeah, I think all of us would be if we were playing on Jurgen Klopp. Robbo was fantastic tonight from North. Never stopped, 100%. I think it was a little passage of play as well, North. I think it was in the second half where he gave away the ball, but he was the first person to the ball. I think there was 2 or 3 United players a bit more closer to the ball, but I think Gary Neville pointed it out as well in commentary, and it was just like, that's it. It's like just the difference between where United want to be.
Someone said to me that on the stream that I was doing, you can see the difference in ability, and I went, this has got nothing to do with ability. Don't take it away from Liverpool. And obviously, this is a United side. You might totally disagree, but I said the ability is non-existent because they're so much better anyway. What's more existent is the effort and the desire and the passion. Take nothing away from the ability because every one of those 11 players, like Mickey said, and even players that came on, they can create something, whether it's a centre-back, a winger or a striker or a centre midfielder. They can all create something with their ability. It was just no effort from Man United. And ultimately, I think if we put 100% effort in, I still think we lose that game. It's a lot tighter. And at least it's a good game to watch as a neutral, because as a neutral, you must be looking at that and thinking, God, that is not the Man United-Liverpool rivalry that I've seen for the last 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Slaphead was great from Willow. Oh, go ahead,
Jack. Nick. I said last night in your stream, if you remember, that every footballer has ability.
Yeah.
Not every footballer has the mindset. And that's the difference.
Agree, yeah.
Yeah, you could probably
Pogba's world class. Pogba is world class. I'm probably going to get absolutely pelted by a chat, Jack. But Paul Pogba is a world class footballer. He's just been.
I watched Pogba at Juventus. I watched Pogba at youth level
for France.
Fantastic. For France, he's even better. But so I'm just going by his club type of play.
Yeah.
He was brilliant at United U level. He was brilliant at Juventus. He was phenomenal at France level, but he did have like the likes of Kante around him. But he needs a world class team built around him, and he hasn't got a world class team built around him. He's got Bruno in there that doesn't track back and doesn't, he doesn't tackle. He just receives the ball. Great anchor, great score. He's a great goal scorer, but you can't do so. Like United need a fantastic holding midfielder. They really do, and it's a spine. That's a problem, And Maguire, I saw Maguire before and I said, he's a handy defender. And I think he's been a disaster at United because he hasn't had the protection in front of him and he hasn't had the ability to do what Van Dijk has been able to do at Liverpool. But Van Dijk is a level above anybody else, But like at the same time, if he had that protection in front of him, like a Fabinho or something like that, maybe he would look like a more cohesive defender. But he hasn't had the 100%. Chance to do that, So yeah.
Absolutely spot on there, lad.
Yeah, on Pogba, if you're a world-class player, if you've got rubbish around you, and I'll go back to Gerrard. Gerrard had one of the worst teams around him under Hudson, and he was still banging in man of the match performances. Power, for me, I've not seen him play 4 good games in the last 5 years, apart from the World Cup. Even in France now, I've not seen him play a good game. He's not played a good game probably 3 or 4 times in 5 years. That's not world class. That's absolute average.
Yeah.
And
But that's
I always said he was overrated. When they brought him for 90 million, I said, oh my God, why have you brought him for 90 million? He weren't even that good. He was overrated at Juventus, in my opinion. He only had 1 game out of 3 good for Juventus. If you actually look back, he's not world class. The rest of the French team make him look good.
No, but Mike, that's the scary point, isn't it? Like, if United give him another contract.
Oh no, he's gone. He's gone.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, because the way he walked off, I think that injury is a 2-week injury. He's going to make that a 4, 5, 6 month, 2-3 months injury. No. What I mean is
Liverpool were absolutely dominating him, and he thought, "I don't want to be a part of this."
No, because I seen someone go live as soon as the game ended, and they said if that's for France or if that's for his new team in the summer, he's carrying on because that was United. He knew this was going to be a demolition. He knew he's going to be going in the summer anyway. And people saying, "Oh, Pogba doesn't care." Of course he doesn't. Why would he? He doesn't need to care. He's not going to be here to see whatever the future may hold. If there is a bright future.
Well, that was my point on the effort that Pogba made when he was at Juventus, and that he made in the youth squad, and then he was gotten rid of. But since he's come to United, he's been dog shit. To be honest with you, he's done nothing. But at the same time, it's United themselves have been very, very similar. No, they're not being similar. They've been worse than what Liverpool have been under. What's his name? Hodgson. Yeah, I think.
Don't mention that name on this channel.
I know. I'm trying
Can you go back to that era?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, okay, well, I can. I'm 40. I've been around since 1984. My first game was 1986.
Paul Konchesky, I'll just say it there. That's
so that's my point. The guy that was going to change Liverpool's fortunes, but and that West Ham final, Jesus. But at the same time, that's the mind. That's where United are. They're less than the Roy Hodgson team that are there at the moment, but with so much more money spent, and it's got to hurt. It's got to hurt United. Fans more. It's not going to hurt the club. The Glazers don't care. They're going to do whatever the fuck they do, and milk the club anyway, until they sell it. But at the same time, that is worse than any Roy Hodgson team I've ever seen put on.
This is the worst team in Premier League history.
Yeah, 100%.
I know. I've
seen United.
For United. I've seen Norwich go down too many times. But
I
get what you're saying. It is the worst United team I've ever seen, but also the most expensive.
Yeah, right. We'll get to everyone's comments as well. So many bloody comments. Everyone really do appreciate it. Absolute bloody legends. All right, lads. So brilliant. I was in the pub in Freshfields in Formby. I got home. Go ahead, Andrew. Hope you drank responsible, most importantly, as well. But I'll speak to you probably. Cheers, everyone. If you've got a bevy or a cup of tea or whatever beverage you have got.
Let's go and make anything that'll put me to sleep. Let's go and get a couple of Horlicks.
Chamomile tea there will help you.
Sorry. Yeah, just watch a highlight reel of an old Ferdinand
clip. Old
Rio Ferdinand clip or something. Reminiscent.
Any clip from 2007 or 8.
Yeah,
the good old days.
But Andrew, hope you had a lovely night, mate, in the pub and everything. Mane scored as many goals for us as Ryan Giggs did. Bloody hell, yeah. Well, United are like gambling addicts, chasing the loss. It's painful to watch. They need to just take a break and start and rebuild rather than throwing big. There's not a comment that I've seen on your chat all night that has been more true than that comment.
Yeah.
Chasing the loss. Anyone that will know the gambling industry, put a £5 bet on, you lose it. Every bet, I'm sure that's going to be the one that I win. Go and chuck another £5, and ultimately, after 2-3 months, you've lost like 200-300 quid, and that's what United have done. They're chasing the loss of the past. Yeah. Then, like I said, if someone said to me, "You've got 200 million this summer," it would not be 100 million Rise, 100 million Kane. It would be 20 million for or 30 million Timber. It would be 50, 60 million Nkunku. It would be 80 million Anthony. And it'd be 3 signings that are going to be hungry players that are coming from not so much worse teams, but clubs that have got nowhere near the amount of history of Man United in
you need hungry players, Mike.
Yeah,
you need
yeah,
hungry players.
yeah.
You need players that want to play for your club.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't need to be buying like world star. This thing has gone past like these aging players like Cavani, Mata, all of these people that came in at the end of their careers. That's not good enough for Manchester United. Like for me, like eventually I would love to see as a Cork man, right? I would love, and as a guy that knows them first, as a guy that knows, I want to see that comment again.
Alfie's getting locked out of his house in a minute.
As a guy that comes from Cork, right, and knows Roy Keane personally growing up, like he's taken me on football camps like left, right, and centre. He's been a gent and a scholar to me as a person, but he's always said to me, anytime he's met me, you know, are you ever going to become a United fan? I said, I can't, you know, I'm a Scouser by trade, you know. And
what he said tonight was reflective. He said, that's not Man United. That is not Man United.
And for me, I would love to see Roy Keane become a manager of United eventually, but that's never going to happen while Alex Ferguson's alive.
No, you know why that's never going to happen? Because the Glazers will be shitting themselves that something is going to get said. Like
he'd say it straight away. Yeah.
I've already seen quotes from sort of not people that are kind of close to Ten Hag, and they've said he will rip that club for everything. He will rip it anew. You know what? He will go in there and he will say, "What the f is this? What the bloody hell is that?" If he walks in there and, for example, I don't know these players personally, so, you know, sorry if I'm pelting them, but if he walks into the club and he sees Harry Maguire having a cup of tea with Scott McTominay and having a laugh, he will go, "We're shit. What the bloody hell are you doing? Go over there, go on that training ground and bloody improve." And he will do it. He will be ruthless.
But I think he had a bigger mentality for like he did it. He tried to do that at Ipswich. He did it at Sunderland, in fairness, you know. But he tried.
And that's what got him the sack.
It did because the club is too small for him and his mindset. So
you need to just get Roy Keane on a leash to go into Manchester United, to let him bark at everyone like. Bah, bah, bah. It's like that meme on social media, isn't it? The Yao fella from like 5 years ago.
You would break the leash, to be fair, Jack.
Yeah.
To be honest, better managers than him, and I'll say better managers. Mourinho is the man. He come in and barked the orders, and the board told him, "Well, you can't really say that to Pogba. You can't do this."
Yeah.
But Mourinho was telling us all in press conferences that he's took over a pile of shit, and we all thought, "Wow, what's going on here?" And he
said
he kept saying this.
Mourinho said second was the biggest achievement I'll ever make in my career.
Yeah.
Everyone laughed at him, though, didn't they? Yeah. Like, but now he's.
Oh no, I didn't. I totally agree with him. Finishing second with that was, and bear in mind there was no Fernandes in that team. There was no Ronaldo in that team. No Sancho. That team was dreadful. It was Chris Smalling and Phil Jones as your centre half.
I 100% agreed with Mourinho when he said that, because I just thought, like, how did he finish with that team? And like, even at the time that he won and this is not like a reflection, it's not an anti-Liverpool United kind of thing, but he beat like what I call the 12-year-old Ajax team in that UEFA Cup run. It was one of the easiest UEFA Cup runs I've ever seen in my life, and I thought that was like a false positive for you guys going forward. It was great on the you know, the winning on the honours books, but I thought it was such a false positive going forward that it was you know, for me, I wouldn't be happy unless I see Keane like punching players on the sideline. That Liverpool have beat them. I want to see Klopp kind of walking over trying to high five Keane, and Keane just wanting to punch him in the face. You know, that's what I want to see, and that's the kind of situation I want to be in with Liverpool versus United. Yeah.
Going back to that sort of Liverpool versus Man United. Remember in the halftime break when Martin Atkinson was trying to sort out his sort of microphone or something, whatever it was on his arm. I saw two things, and they both triggered me. I saw a Liverpool team that were passing the ball. They had 2 or 3 balls on the pitch, and you had like Salah Mane, and I think it was like Henderson passing the ball. Someone else
yeah.
was passing the balls here, and you had Man United. You had, I think it was the players. I think were Bruno, Rashford, and Elanga passing the ball together, and you had Harry Maguire walking up and down the, just like doing stretches like that. I'm like, oh my god, does he not get it? I was like, that is the point where you can get the players regalvanized, and you're like, right, come on, this is Man United, Liverpool, or Liverpool, Man United. This is Anfield. Come on, and he's just walking around.
That's a comment there from Ant.
Yeah, as Ant said, yeah. Obviously, Ant's obviously a Leicester fan. He's obviously years prior to obviously him moving, but yeah, 100% agree with you there, mate. I'm surprised indeed he's not ended up at United. For me, the last couple of years, he's something that obviously already the lads on the panel have said. Pretty sure a lot of yous already, but 100% agree with you there, Ant. We went one up. Pogba couldn't be asked. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Honestly, that is the most true. Honestly, I watched. We went 1-0 up, and all of a sudden he had an injury, which there was no. Normally, when they have an injury, they replay where it happened. There's no replay. That guy faked injury because he didn't want to be. He didn't want to be part of this team getting battered. Honestly, that's what he's like.
He was on the bench in the reverse fixture and then got sent off, didn't he?
Yeah. I was like,
he's just because he knows all he's going to do all day is run around, getting exhausted for no reason, not get the ball.
Yeah, must need his itch. A new trim probably tomorrow. He'll probably go to barbers and that. Needs to get off quite early.
Old, isn't he? Basically old, I think.
Yeah. Or he changes his. He's probably had more haircuts than he has had better performances this season. Put it that way. Sorry, but it's not nice. I wouldn't call my dad that. Probably give me. Yeah. I think we all agree with that, Willow, as well. If Pogba goes to PSG, stick him next to Verratti and it'll be amazing again. Technically, he has it. It could be world class. Same with Ozil at Arsenal. Once your head goes, so does your game as well.
That's why you're not world class.
Yeah,
I think yes, but we're not going to get anywhere with that.
Yeah, we spent far too much on that. Linda, get in, Linda. What a result! What there was tonight. Great. They were amazing. Friars don't expect say Paul Konchesky. Yeah. Yeah, Thiago is a different class. 100% Linda. United were, yep.
Yes, they were.
Danny, our lads, it was nice. Thiago is unreal. Not too bad with football, is he? Big up, Jack. Jay, I'll drop you the link, mate. Obviously, we will be rounding up very soon, but I don't know if I'm pretty sure you had a live stream. I'll quickly drop you an invite now, matey, before we do shoot off. If I can find you. I can tell you haven't messaged me in a while, Jamie, haven't you? Right, you're all the way down there. Yeah, it's a good. There we go. Right, there we go. Right. But yeah, chat, keep on getting your man in the matches in as well if you haven't already got them in. And any thoughts in terms of Liverpool's game, or is any United fans watching as well? Just your general thoughts in obviously the Arsenal game that you've got on the horizon as well.
Is there a point on the man in the match?
Oh yeah, Thiago or Sadio Mane. I don't think we've talked too much about our last Jay.
Hannibal.
Anyway. Yeah,
Salah got 2 goals and nobody's talking about him.
Man in the match.
Sadio Mane was fantastic, and Thiago was just was the most phenomenal midfielder I've seen in the last 12 years in the midfield display that he's displayed tonight. To be honest with you, next to Modric, maybe about 6 years ago, but that was about it.
Yeah. Hello, Jay.
Hey, mate, you all right?
Yeah. To get to all the comments before, just get your thoughts, mate. Appreciate you coming on.
Hi, man.
Michael, yeah.
That's a little joke.
With that, lads.
That's a joke. When I go to Anfield and I don't take my glasses, I can't. When I'm in the main stand,
you can't see.
I can't tell who scored. So I go to Alfie. Who scored? So now I take my glasses all the time.
Yeah. No, it's spot on there, mate. I think I'll need glasses, especially after looking at all these bloody screens. But right, Jay, great performance, wasn't it, mate? But just your general thoughts on the performance, and obviously who stood out for you in the game today.
Well, that first half performance, some of the build-up play in some of the goals. I think that second goal when we played it out from the back and it was 25 passes for the goal was disgusting. It should have a triple X certificate on that goal, shouldn't it? It was wrong. It was, even I got a little excited there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was my table was moving. It was incredible. That some of the goals today. Look, United, when you play a back three of Phil Jones, Lindelof, and Harry Maguire, possibly the worst back three I've seen in Premier League history. I mean, you only have to put Tylo Mings in there to make it the worst defence ever, don't you? That was just
To replace Lindelof.
We've had a little segment of that lad before. Speaking
Phil
about
Jones only played 120 minutes of football this season, and he plays against the best team in Europe. It's just,
and arguably, he's probably been our best centre back all season.
I mean,
Ranto was injured.
After 10 minutes, the man was sweating bullets, wasn't he? He was
He was dead on his feet.
He looked like an Iceland chicken fillet in the freezer, didn't he? He looked terrible after 10 minutes. He was awful.
I looked at Matic and he was like 13 minutes gone and he was pegs.
He was just like dead.
He wasn't, yeah.
But look, you play three at the back against Liverpool, you're in trouble, especially with that back three. And the goals we scored today were absolutely sublime. Mo Salah back in the goals as well, and an assist. Diaz. Jesus Christ, this kid. I mean, I've heard Spurs fans say Kulusevski's better. I don't know what game they're watching. Football ain't for them. But Diaz is different, guys. That left, he's locking down that left side already, which is madness. Sadio Mane's become one of the best number 9s in the league, or out of nowhere. How did that happen? So we got to talk about Sadio Mane. This man is class, absolute class. He's world class on the right, world class on the left, and as I say, he's one of the better number 9s in the Premier League out of nowhere.
Sadio Mane has been my best player for Liverpool in the last 6 years. As good as Salah has been, he's integral to how we play. And he's been quiet, and he's been quiet for like a few months. Yeah, he's been phenomenal.
He's just tremendous. I mean, that front three now, Salah, Diaz, and Mane, is disgusting. It's wrong. It's illegal. Jota coming off the bench. There was no quality drop. Diaz went off, Jota came on, and the quality stayed the same. Thiago, shut up. I mean, that was Bayern Munich. That was Bayern Munich, Thiago, and we saw it against Man City on Saturday as well. I've said it for ages. Thiago's a world-class player. Just when you're injured, you can't show that. But he's been fit for Liverpool, but now he's fit and match fit. And this is a special talent we got in our midfield who controls the midfield. He's a controller. We ain't had that since Xabi Alonso. In our midfield. And he's an amazing player. And I'm proper proud of the players tonight. They absolutely smashed them. This Man United team, Jack, is just...
We've been there, haven't we, mate?
I'm just tuning in, so I'm going to get it all out right now. I've never seen a bunch of players in my life be uncoached. They're just uncoached. They're uncoached. Yeah. I look at Rashford.
They haven't been coached for 3 years.
Rashford should be at the level Sterling is for Manchester City.
Higher.
He's that good as a football player. But for 4 years, he's been completely uncoached. And now he looks like he's given up on football completely. He needs to leave Man United. That's how bad it's got. He needs to leave.
Yeah, we said that,
I think that I want him to leave because not for us, but for him. I rate him highly. He could, if he leaves now, like I said, he's 24. If he leaves now,
he's still 24.
Yeah. He's already made 300 appearances for United, which is unreal. So I would say for your career, mate, you go. Because you will be a world-class player if you go now. If you wait 2-3 years and say maybe I can give it 2 years, no, it's not going to happen. It has to be now. And people are saying don't sell him to Arsenal. There's certain teams I wouldn't sell him to, and Arsenal would obviously be one of them because I don't want them having joy out of one of our academy players.
He's not going to get coached there either.
No. I just put to say going to Arsenal ain't going to help him. He's going to be
that's actually a downgrade, to be fair. Yeah,
but look what happened.
He needs to go abroad.
That dude is at what's your man's name at Brighton now?
Welbeck.
Welbeck. Look what happened to Welbeck, and that was the start of what happened with the coaching at United. Like he was the next best thing, and he just
And he had that one season.
Martial,
The season,
Martial was the next one that trailed off.
the season that
the next one is trailed off.
Lingard.
Lingard's still
was
an
the next big
academy
thing,
player.
and he's
Come on,
just
Oh yeah, he's so young,
static.
and he Lingard.
Lingard's still 19.
Best
Oh,
young
okay.
player in the.
He's
in
been
the Premier
19
League.
for 10 years.
Mike, Elanga is your next best hope, and he needs a change of
Hannibal.
structure.
I think Hannibal's the next
Well,
one.
no, he is, yeah, but like Elanga as a forward man, I should say. But Hannibal is like he's the next guy that's in there in the midfield. But like Elanga is the next guy that's up front. That and him and Hannibal and all these guys, they need different coaching, and they need it ASAP.
Piss off, Ant.
Yeah,
Tell you why Hannibal won't make it at United. He doesn't sell shirts.
That's the scary thing. That is right.
He sells bobbers, though. He sells bobbers.
Doesn't sell shirts. The Glaziers will only want players in that team.
And Alanga
as
will
first choice that will sell shirts.
Alanga will sell shirts because I've seen some of the pictures that Alanga's been sort of involved in on Paul Pogba's Instagram, on Rashford's, on Maguire. So I think Alanga will be the next one that they try and bully into being this sort of. They'll say to Alanga, look, if you stay here and be the poster boy for everything, we'll get you 10, 15 million followers on Instagram. And I really hope he doesn't just say, oh, all right then, cheers, getting me some publicity, but in the background you're feeding them, which Elanga
is your next FIFA 23 story boy that they're going to base the story on. If you get it, if you get what I'm saying.
I always said that was Rashford that they based it on.
That was Rashford.
I didn't even like. Yeah, I didn't even like. Yeah.
Who wants a story mode in FIFA? What's that about?
Don't get me started on bloody FIFA boys.
I don't know.
Adam Lallana masterclass from Alfie. Fingers crossed, mate.
Honestly, no, we'll have a De Bruyne masterclass tomorrow, please.
Honestly, think Rashford.
I can't believe
he's
going to go fan Man City to win. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're not a rival, though, are they? Man City, they're irrelevant.
I think Tranmere are bigger rivals than Liverpool, to Liverpool and Man City. Honestly, come the trigger into Man City fans. Honestly, think Rashford will have to go abroad. Yeah, as we just said there, mate.
I wouldn't even mind the loan.
I'd have to disagree with Mike there. I don't think how you could tell that Man City aren't a rival to United when they came in and took over that genre from 2009 onwards. Like we didn't.
I'm not saying they're not a rival. I'm just sort of trying to say that they're not the rival, if that makes sense. If they win the league next year, and
they're more of a rival to us now than year. That's my point. That's my point. So like they've taken over whatever that rival was. They've taken over from Arsenal's rivalry. They've taken over from Chelsea rivalry to United. They've taken over from everything. But then we've replaced everybody else with that rivalry. So it's just City and United. You'd want United to be involved in that. So no, I get what you're saying that they're not important. We don't think they're as important as United to us.
No,
but they're still winning everything that they.
It's not a rivalry to us, Liverpool, Man City.
It will be if this carries on.
Yeah. What Liverpool, Man City?
If United carry on being shit, Man City will take their place.
Well,
they will.
What Man City Liverpool is right now is the biggest game in Europe. That's what it is right now.
It's a friendly derby, isn't it?
It's taken over. It's now the biggest game in Europe. It's now the biggest game in Europe. It's taken over Real Madrid and Barcelona for me. It's now the biggest match in the world, Man City.
Farmers League. Don't we start on the French and the Spanish league?
The fact that Barcelona were in massive debt and they've come back and they're second in the league is ridiculous. Shows how crap that league is.
I
think that's
illegal loan.
That's savvy.
Well, they lost last night, didn't they?
Yeah, to Cadiz,
yeah.
There must be the Spanish Burnley Cadiz. He parked the bus and he done the job. I tell you.
No, that was Villarreal in the UEFA Cup last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A little shout out on Burnley. Where do you think Dyche will end up?
Fulham.
Dyche is a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, he loves Liverpool.
Yeah, he's a massive Liverpool fan. But like anywhere he wants to, he's a fantastic coach. But he is the modern day
pathetic, isn't it? Pathetic.
So,
he'll end up at Nottingham Forest eventually.
Yeah, it's his local team, isn't it?
Yeah.
B&M is too cheap to be City. Oh yeah, right. Spend all the money on
B&M.
Yeah, right, guys. Yeah, but it's been an absolute bloody phenomenal show. Thank you to every single one of you that has watched. up until now, and all the continued support, and obviously the lads that have jumped on the panel. We'll get them all to shout out their channels in a little second. Quite rightly as well. Really do appreciate them jumping on. And most importantly, every single one of you, that is, if you're watching this on the repeat as well, make sure you do hit that subscribe button as well. I know a lot of you didn't. Really do appreciate all the support, not just on last night's show, but all the support, most importantly, on all the content as well. And everyone, apologies if I have missed your comments. There's that many bloody comments. I haven't done it intentional anyway, but thank you to every single one of you that has left a like on the video as well. And if you are new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and put your bell notification on as well. But Mickey, shout out your channel, mate. I really do appreciate you taking the time out tonight. I've enjoyed it. Great to get Mike on as well. Mickey's always phones died.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's scared of United. That's it.
And now would have me, Jamie. It's bad enough me and you doing podcasts, and Jamie's like sick of me listening to me for an hour.
I can listen to you all night, Jack.
Yeah, nice for that. But Mike, I really do appreciate it. First time on the channel. Could just shout out your channel as well, and obviously what shows you got plans coming up on all your socials, fella.
First of all, this there glazes out. If there are any Man United fans, we've got to keep the consistency. There will be a protest in the next. There will be another protest at the next home game, which we will be, staying outside until the 17th minute. But thanks for getting me on the show, Jack. It was a bit of a relief, to say the least. More so, hearing you mention all these bloody cracking footballers, and then realising I've got to watch us next week against another crap team in Arsenal, which will be quite a funny game, actually, as a neutral, watching Arsenal try and play football against Man United trying to play football.
You should beat them, though. I know you're playing the well, but
if we don't beat them, give us the Conference League. But no, Mike Green on YouTube, drop us a sub. That'd be much appreciated. And yeah, again, like and subscribe to Jack. He's a top quality lad, very good on the YouTube scene. It's just a shame he supports the crap team in the. But no, thanks for getting me on, Jack, as always.
No, it was great to get you on, mate, and being very respectful. I know obviously Liverpool, Manchester United have got a massive rivalry, but fans can be respectful and quite right.
And back to that Ronaldo thing. You guys are legends for that as well. Going back to that.
Yeah, shout out to Cristiano Ronaldo. Thoughts.
Beautiful touch, that.
Yeah.
Thoughts goes out to his family.
And Mike's a blinded darts player as well.
Yeah. Jamie, shout out your channel. Oh yeah. I don't get the stars on darts. But Jay, thank you very much for coming on just for the back end of that show as well.
Cheers,
shout out your channel and what shows you got planned this week.
Oh yeah, Jamie Phillips Football Chats, as it says right there. And tomorrow I'm doing the Arsenal Chelsea watch along for vibes, just to see Arsenal lose 4 in a row. It's hilarious.
They'll win now.
And then I'll go out the Man City game on as well. So a couple of just be going back and forth between that tomorrow. And the watch along should be a fun one. Seeing Brighton hopefully do something very nice.
Matt, I'm pretty sure we won't see Mike on social media if I can do something. But thank you very much.
I'll be tweeting throughout the game. Come on, come on, Brighton. Come on, Man City. And then as soon as Brighton's got turn this crap off.
But thank you, Jay. Thank you, Mike.
No,
most importantly, Spider as well. I really do appreciate you taking the time out every single night to come on, mate. It's always a good chat. Just shout out your channel, mate, and where everyone can find you and what shows you got planned this weekend.
It's over here. It's right there. There you go. It's right there. I don't know my right from my left, lads. Right, it's Spider Left. So thanks very much for having me on. But at the same time,
neither does Harry Maguire know his left from his right.
That's what he's trying to. That's what he's trying to do. But lads, thanks very much for having me on. Look, fair dues to the Liverpool fans tonight, clapping for 7 minutes, or from the 7 to the 8 minute tonight for Ronaldo's kid. Like there's not many clubs that will turn around and show that much class for an entire minute with a massive rivalry that you would see between
the "You'll Never Walk Alone" song.
That gave me tingles. That was like
I was there in I think it was with Reece Jones in I think it was 2007 after he got shot, and they played Zed Cars at Anfield, and I was at that game, you know, and the family was there and the whole lot. And it's the next thing that I've seen that was as good as that, or sorry, you know, as respectful as that, at Anfield. It, you know, played since then. So, you know, fair dues to all the Liverpool fans and all that. But look, 4-0 against United is the main point of protocol. But look, Spider LFC, thanks very much. Thanks for having me on.
Nice.
I appreciate it. But anyway, lads.
Just look at that smile, Spider. Look at that smile. Bloody
I love
buzzing.
it. I love it.
God, I love it.
But yeah, thank you very much for coming on, Matt. And get to all your comments before we do shoot off here as well. If you haven't already done so, please drop a like on the video. Absolute bloody legends. You don't understand how much that does help the channel grow as well. But yeah, got to do this again, boys. Yeah, no, obviously we got a lot, not just like Liverpool, but in terms of we'll have to get Mike on for the Premier League review show anyway. I need to be a bit more consistent in terms of that. Getting everyone involved.
Nice one,
as well.
LeBoff Ten Hag. Cheers.
Yeah, I'm for the Everton game. Cannot wait. Cheers to that con. Cheers Willow as well. Obviously North. Obviously Mickey just saying Dyche local in Northampton. City trying to create a rivalry, haven't earned it, and they do it, and you won't buy it. Yes, yeah, and don't get me started on that bloody Haaland transfer. Yeah. Christ almighty.
No.
Rafa to Burnley to keep them up and send the Ev down.
I said that.
Yeah. We will be having Tom on the channel. Yeah, we will be having Tom on the channel, and that'd be good viewing for everyone. He'll be trying to wind me up, but it won't work. So keep an eye on the channel for that. Our good mate Tom.
Piss off,
always. Yeah, always in the chat anyway. Yeah, 10 games to go. It's my birthday today. Is it, Tom?
Tom, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, bloody hell, Tom. Don't be saying that as well.
Yeah, the last one.
Don't forget to smash that as well and smash that subscribe button. Happy birthday, Tom, as well. Hope you have a lovely birthday, mate.
Happy birthday, Tom. Hopefully,
yeah, and
hopefully something gets better in terms of United, and then you can celebrate United in a few years winning stuff.
But yeah, Doug is well. We were that's one way of putting it. It was class. Sometimes you need a little beyond rivalry. Happy birthday, obviously Sophie too as well. Jack, happy birthday, Sophie as well. Bring it on, Tom as well, and everyone. Thank you very much, lads, for coming on. Most importantly, every single one of you is at home. Have a lovely rest of your night. Keep safe and well as well. And as always, obviously, Ronaldo, you never walk alone. Look after yourself, fella. And obviously, the whole of world football is behind you. And thank you, gents, for coming on tonight as well. And
very welcome.
Yeah,
thoughts with you, Cristiano.
Yeah, and see you tomorrow for another episode.
Up the Reds!
Shut up and sit down.